Hi Virgo, welcome to a weekly tarot reading from November 6th through the 12th. It's Serena here. Normally I either do mid-month, sometimes I do mid-month and the end of the month, but sometimes I do like a weekly tarot reading, very rarely, but I just wanted to kind of give a little snapshot for this period. I'm going to just stick with my spread though because it's just easiest for me. But I'm going to try to make it more brief because I tend to go on and on. And also, I'm having issues with trying to keep everything in frame. So there we go. Okay. So the heart of the matter is the Justice card, which is a card of a legal matter, a question of fairness in a situation, and it's also the sign that Libra is connected to. And I'm going to bring up the past position that might explain things. We have the Page of Pentacles, so this could be a new job, message of work, message about money or receiving some kind of money, small amount of money. Some of you did have a full moon in the 8th house at the beginning of October, and that might have brought up some issue around an inheritance, and this might be some kind of correspondence about that. We have had we've had like a Mercury retrograde, which may have delayed some kind of situation, but there's an issue of like a legal matter or fairness issues around this Justice card. So sometimes if this is a relationship issue, it could mean that perhaps there's some issue in the relationship where you don't feel there's fairness or something like that in the relationship, and that has come up for you in some way, and that has, you might feel like you have to get that settled in some way. Or if you're thinking of filing divorce, or you're waiting for a divorce to come through, if it's relationship oriented. The higher message is the Queen of Cups, which is a card of really being in tune with your spiritual side. So whether this means that you need to be more of that, or this has created this need for balance in your life because you have been too analytical. You know, Virgo is so into the analyzing the little details that you forget that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. Of course, that's my opinion, so maybe you don't agree with that. It's just that sometimes putting all this faith in the world and on things that are of a solid nature, the Pentacles relate to money and work and tangible things, isn't enough. And if you have started a relationship with an earth sign, fellow earth sign, you know, you tend to get along with such people, but perhaps you can tell already, if you will not go into denial, that there is some sort of imbalance in the relationship already, where you're not being treated fairly, you're putting more into it than the other person, something along those lines. What crosses you is the Ace of Wands. Now, pages and aces have similar properties. I would say the ace is more of the catalyst of something. And so, for instance, let's say you did recently start a new job, and already you can see that there's a lack of fairness, or there's just this sense of like either you're giving too much and getting back too little, or somebody else is being favored in the workplace, and you're just tired of it because you just notice that this tends to happen to you or something like that. The Ace of Wands is a card of maybe having your own business and doing something for yourself. And perhaps this is a long time coming for some of you, because you have just kind of like assumed you were going to work for somebody else, but now you feel this sense of like, you know, when is this ever going to start feeling fair? You know, I keep having these experiences. Why does this keep happening to me? And the bottom line is that sometimes we have certain belief systems that, you know, picture themselves into physical reality. And it's just because, you know, once we change those expectations and those beliefs, that our circumstances can change as well. And Virgos are very industrious. You're very modest. You're willing to, you know, work hard for what you have. And so you're like you're the MVP when it comes to employees, but you don't always get the recognition that you deserve, because it's easy to take Virgos for granted. They're just so unassuming. Other people might like beat their chest and say, you know, how come you're not doing this for me or that for me? But Virgos just continue to do whatever. And so perhaps there's something new that you're supposed to be initiating, and that has been delayed because you've been involved, embroiled in something else that isn't really for you. So it could be something along those lines. Also with a relationship, perhaps it could go two ways with a relationship. Either you're getting caught up in an affair that doesn't have any likelihood of becoming something permanent, because it's, you know, the other person may not see it in the same way that you do. Maybe you want a solid relationship and they want to just have a good time. Or that a new exciting relationship, not a predictable one, not something that's a safe bet, but somebody that will really challenge you and just kind of inspire you. That relationship is put on hold, put on ice, because you are talking to somebody else. The Ace of Wands could literally be with a fire sign. So it could be, Sag is the one sign that may irritate you in certain ways, but you are attracted to. You have Aries and also Leo as the other fire signs. So if that resonates with you, then perhaps that's true. But if you are, you know, talking to somebody who is an earth sign, you might feel when you're talking to them that you really don't have much in common, even though you're supposed to be getting along. Because, you know, one thing about Virgos is that they are very into learning. They're intellectual. They might be more practical in their intellectual pursuits, but they're still intellectuals. And if you don't have anybody to share that with, it can get really frustrating. And sometimes if you're dealing with a fellow earth sign, Taurians or Capricorn types, they may appeal to you when it comes to the work stuff, but then when you want to talk about ideas, they're kind of like, you know, they might think that that's frivolous or silly or something like that. Now, that would not, you know, I'm broad brushing for sure. That's not going to be true for all of them, but just, you know, some of them it may be. What's coming in is the Five of Cups. This is a card of mourning the loss of something, disappointment. This can also be an advice card. So if you have been holding out hope about something, and even with a legal matter, you may have been so absorbed in dealing with this legal matter and seeking justice that you have kind of not mourned the loss of whatever it is. So whether it was a probate issue, mourning the loss of that death, or somebody that you are getting divorced from, even if you have no desire to get back with that person, you still may need to emotionally purge yourself of some of those sad emotions so that you can fully move on. Because I feel like that Ace of Wands is waiting for you, Virgo, to just take off, and do something great with your life. And then we have, this is Exhibit A. The Fool card is a card of a new adventure, doing something. Maybe, you're starting a new journey, and for once, you don't have an itinerary. Being a Virgo and being so organized, you just decide, I'm just going to let things fall where they may. I'm not going to try to control things. And let's see what happens. I'll take life in a new direction and not have expectations that it has to be this or it has to be that. And that's such a positive attitude, rather than living life feeling like it has to be this a certain way, opening up your consciousness for pure potential to, take over. This is the 0. The Fool card is 0. It's the first card. And it means that there is pure potential there to create any kind of reality that you want. And sometimes it takes being willing to wander in the wilderness, but it's really not wilderness, it's an adventure. Wander in your new adventure till you can find what you're looking for. And perhaps you're kind of coming to this new chapter in your life where you can do so. Okay, that's what I have for you, Virgo. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you would like a private reading, I'm primarily an astrologer. That's why I talk so much about astrology in my tarot readings, I guess. You can find me at rainamoonastrology.com. The link is below. Take care. Bye.